Welcome to Opal's TV. Today I'm in New York together with Lili Engelhardt. She is a wealth advisor for Morgan Stanley and she has been working on social responsible investments for over 30 years. Lili, give us your background. How did you get started with social responsible investing?
I moved from Israel in 1980 to pursue my engineering degree, and I fell in love to the stock market, and I started to work with the stock market, and that's why I got to work with LiliAnn Stafford, who is my partner ever since then. We worked at the time with a lot of progressive individuals and the Taft-Hartley, which is a union pension funds, who wanted to take a stand against South Africa and apartheid. Through them, we actually were able to understand that we can do some screening into the investment by making a voice, making a noise, saying, you know what, we don't want to invest in these companies. Eventually, in 1986, we joined Shearson, who is now Morgan Stanley. And the biggest thing in the 86 or the 80s was the start of the AIDS epidemic. And as AIDS started, we felt like we need to do something. A lot of people felt like something has to be done about it. And again, we started working with social responsible in the sense of which companies are the best for domestic partnership, which companies are the best for gay rights, which companies, can we pursue to have domestic partnership for gays. At around the beginning of the 90s, we started with the green bonds, and it was interesting enough at the time I was working with Smith Barney that at around 92, we, together with Smith Barney, which I believe was one of the major brokerage houses then, to convert a huge fund to a social responsible fund. So that was a huge movement towards social responsible investments. Eventually, the SRI, or the social responsible investment, moved to the impact investment, which we know of it today. And now we do it in different ways. We do the social responsible, but we're also saying that's not enough. We're looking for investment that has impact on other companies, on our lives, and social justice, environmental, and so forth.
Lee, you gave us a great overview of your career, which at the same time covers the history and the evolution of SRI. So tell us, where is SRI in impact investing now? How are you going to do things? How are you doing things now?
Well, I mean, it's not only a question of how I'm doing it now, and I want a little bit about how the evolution of SRI did. So at the beginning, what we did, as I told you before, with South Africa, we actually sift the companies, and we say these are companies that we don't want to have, because it is a company who has either polluters or either environmental wrong or either sin stocks or tobacco, the defense, the alcohol, or whatever the client felt that we should able to not have the portfolio. From the sifting, we went to the best of, and we said, which in that industry, in the environmental industry, in the pharmaceutical industry, who are the best companies to invest? Who are the least polluter? Who are the least bad? Eventually, where we are right now is actually impact investment. We are not only looking to not invest in a company that don't do good. We're actually looking to invest in companies that do good and impact. We want to give them the reinforcement, the incentive to actually do the right thing. And impact investments go into different directions. Anywhere from shareholder advocacy, where we actually do the proxies, corporate resolutions, and possibly bring an issue to a company and we say, deal with that. Now the company has to deal with that issue. Most likely, company will result in having a better environmental or a better pharmaceutical or a better diversity because they believe in it, because it's a trend, because that's what people want to see. If you go to any website today, or even a lot of the business cards, you will see either recycle, or most of the websites will say that we are sustainable. What is sustainable? Sustainable is something that the company wants to know. We care. We are with you. We are with we are with you. We not only doing to make profit, we are not only making money, we also making money while we're doing better for the world, while we're doing better for social justice. And that's the impact we want to look for the company.
What you're saying, Lili, is that impact investing has actually changed capitalism or the way how companies are run and govern themselves, right?
Well, to say that we change the capitalism would be great. I mean, but I don't want to go that far as saying that. That would be incredible for me to believe this is truth. Well, how companies changing, and there is a demand from the millennial children. There is a demand for doing better. There is a different measure of success. We, the baby boomers, give them the tools, the knowledge, the idea that something has to be done. We said to them, you know, the environment is not great, social justice is necessary, domestic partnership is necessary. We gave them all these great ideas, but this is the new generation who demands not only talk, they demand from the corporate, from their workplace, from their school place, from the environment, from neighbors to do a better world. So can a company decide that from now on we're going to be 100% recyclable waste management? It's not going to happen. It's not happening yet. It's very costly. It's a process that the company going to go through. Is a company going to say that within a year we're going to be 100% diverse? It can be happened because it's something that will take time for this to make a decision. But what we're seeing again, that more and more companies are aware of that. They understand that in order for them to have the capitalism, which is basically buying their stock and having the market cap so much better, in order for them to have their stock to be more attractive, they certainly do need to do fundamental good. Morgan Stanley had just a research that's saying that millennials are 2 times more likely to demand from a stock not only growth, not only fundamental good, but also doing good, which I guess by having that is changing the capitalism.
So Lili, you already mentioned how the millennial generation has much deeper demands when it comes to SRI than the baby boomers and other generations. I wonder, the community of investors, and let's say all types of investors, high net worth family offices, institutions, pension funds, globally mutual funds, the whole industry, the whole community of investors. What has been their waking up? What has been their process regarding SRI?
So that's a great question. There's really 2 types of investors that I can think of, or individuals and foundations. Within the individuals, and I'm kind of commingling the regular investor and the high net worth individual, Morgan Stanley Institute for Sustainable Investment just had its major research done. And apparently $1 out of $9 in 2012 went to social responsible investment, or impact investment, or sustainable investment. Different companies call it different names, and they all basically mean the same. In 2014, just 2 years later, this number was $1 of $6. That's a 30% increase. It's a huge increase of dollars going into social responsible investments. Another number that I'd like to give you that is over $6.5 trillion has been going to social responsible investments over the last year. I see that investor coming to the office and asking us, what can we do? How can we do that? And the next question, of course, is going to be the challenging question, what are we going to give up? Are we going to give up anything? Again, statistically, 71%, over 70% of Morgan Stanley clients would have liked to do something in social responsible investment. The second sector, or the second part of the investment community, of course, would be the endowment, the foundations. And over the last years, many years, they have been going towards social justice or environmental. That's what have been their policy as far as the mission statement. over the last couple of years, we see something really interesting. They're looking into combine the mission statement with the investment policy. So they should not be clashing. The Rockefeller Foundation, which we not stand about, decided a couple months ago to divest completely from fossil fuel over the next 5 years. And that was like earth-shattering within the foundation world. Last week or 2 weeks ago, Harvard University had the Heat Week. Same thing we saw in Cambridge in England 2 weeks ago. So there are students, there are professors, there are people in the foundation world who are saying we need our mission statement to be aligned with our investment policy. And this is going to bring a huge money and bringing a huge attention to the social responsible investment.
So Lili, that research also said that about 50% of your clients fear that they may have to give up something when they go into SRI investments. Is that true or not? What's the reality there?
Some clients are skeptical as far as performances, and what we do is we compare index to an index. We would have a large cap screen to a large cap non-screen, or a small cap or mid cap, or whatever it is. Of course, the comparison is past performances. It's a rear view mirror to what that industry or that portfolio would have done. And what you would see, and it's really interesting, that value to value, dollar to dollar, we have done as any other indexes and within the same universe. So in essence, the client really not giving up anything, but going to, by having his or her voice heard.
So, Lili, that was a fantastic overview of where we are now. Is there anything else that we haven't covered in this interview?
Sure, it's actually interesting. I have to tell you a story. So 30 years ago, when I would come to a meeting and present social responsible investment, the next sentence would be, and I don't get up in the morning and hug a tree. And now I don't have to do it anymore, and which is wonderful, because finally, the last 20 years, the whole SRI movement caught up enough that everybody knows what's a green investment. Everybody knows what's sustainable investment. I mean, sustainable has become the sexy word, the in word of today's. Clients coming to us and asking us to divest from here and there. Client coming to us and tell us, we would like to have a green investment or a social responsible investment. Social justice is important for us. I'm really psyched to work in that industry because it's growing, the demand is there, and I really feel the change. The change is there. So not only the change is there, you can see it everywhere you're walking. I mean, you open the internet and you see companies' website with sustainability and what they're doing. Matter of fact, today, the Supreme Court hearing about domestic partnership and gay rights. You're hearing about companies who are cleaning up different rivers. You're talking about companies who's doing a better job in possibly fracking. There is in every part GMOs. A major company just announced a couple of days ago they're not going to use antibiotics in their chicken by 2017. All these little things are going to add up to a better world for us. And these things are being done because there's a demand. And most of the demand is heard through the financial statement. So I really see I'm not only seeing a better world of the future, I see it happening right now, which is wonderful.